What's going on, everyone? So, I went to see this film like yesterday because number one, I didn't really want to support, Ezra Miller, but other people have worked on the film and the film's already bombing. So, I finally cracked. Number two, personal life, I've been in and out of hospital, so I've finally seen it. This is my spoiler review. One thing I will say before I do this review: the CGI is rubbish. Some bits it's fine, but mostly everywhere it's shocking. Batman's cow, shocking. When he's traveling back in time and we see like a Henry Cavill close up, shocking. Yeah, so I love how this movie opens up. This movie opens up with Barry and Batman as they're saving Gotham. And it's a mini Justice League film. It's what I wanted from this franchise for so long. It's just cool to see. They stop the Gotham villain, right? Wonder Woman appears, the Wonder Woman music, the rules, and it was just nice to just see continuity and some togetherness. Barry is the young dude who's not as experienced as the others, who's just trying to like impress Batman, and who's trying to get to work. And the comedy starts like right away, and I was laughing. I was laughing. The could you pass me that candy bar in the name of justice, or that energy bar, whatever. I found that funny. So the baby scene, when he saves the babies, stylistically it's beautiful. If you pretend it's good CGI, great scene. And people are like, why did they make it so Barry has to eat before he runs? Well, to make him not overpowered. Superman has kryptonite, Barry has metabolism, We say bye-bye to kind of Ben Affleck in his Batman costume. Ben Affleck's great. We do the little Wonder Woman joke. Barry holds the lasso retriever and he's like, I have no idea what sex is, Get that out of the way. That's funny. Iris, she's a total douche here. I liked her, not even one bit. I really didn't like Iris. I found her very damaging, very nasty. So, not the actress, just the way Iris was written. Barry invites her over because he's the Chad, he's got Riz, and then she gives him the idea. He kind of had the idea to go back in time, but then he's like, oh my god, I can. So he tries it out, and again, very stylistic, I love it. Just the CGI, and it was really creative, right? Because we've already had a Flash TV show. You need to shake things up. So he tries it, and then Dark Flash comes. So Barry sees his mum. Everything with Barry and his mom and the emotion that Ezra Miller brings. It's really amazing, I know he's a bad person, but his acting and what he has is incredible. And it's so sad that he threw it away. Like in Justice League, I didn't like Barry at all. And I still think Ezra is miscast as Barry Allen. This is the Barry we have for this particular film. So I had to go with it. And from the Barry that we were given, he was really, he was amazingly good. Like, he got me crying at the end when he has to take the tomato soup out of the trolley. He got me really emotional. And this film is funny, man. He is really funny. Like, he goes there and he's eating with his family, and it's going all good, and, one of the funniest jokes, he sees his 10-year younger self, and he's like, oh, shit, I need a shit in the front yard, and I'm like, younger Barry was everything I hated about Ezra Miller's Barry in Justice League, but it made sense to make our main Barry a better person, and to make him realise that his mum dying has to happen. And, to make him realise what a selfish human being he can become if his mother survived that night. The suit that they give young Barry at the end, worst suit I think ever. It was really red when he was spray painting it, and I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. In the third act, it turns brown. I will say, Supergirl was one of the weakest things about this film. She didn't have enough time to flesh out her character. We didn't have enough time to connect with her. She didn't have enough lines. She didn't really have an arc. She had like a really quick 10-minute arc. And that was very disappointing because I feel like Sasha Kaye had so much more to give to this role, unless she's going to continue as James Gunn's Supergirl for that Supergirl film. So we will see. The third act, it was a big CGI battle. CGI wasn't good, but the battle was really good. I'm not even going to lie. The battle was insane. I loved the battle. General Zod, he served his purpose getting the Multiversal Justice League together. I would have liked a bit more of him, but there were so many characters already in this film, I completely understand. I loved that they said that Barry was there for the event of Man of Steel. It just added a new harmless level of, depth and continuity to Man of Steel. Now, a topic that I forgot to cover. The Barrys getting their speeds. I think some of that stuff was some of my most favourite in the film. I could watch that scene over and over and over again. When he's, running and the other Barrys, he's lost his speed and the other Barry's like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm slow. That was really funny. And then when he tells the other Barry about phasing and he's all freaked out. And then when he thinks he has the speed, when he thinks he still has the speed, our main Ezra Miller Barry, and he goes, time to phase, and he goes to the wall and he bangs against the wall. I found that funny. Michael Keaton's Batman, let's talk about it. Because, wow, man, that was great. That's how you do cameos, That's how Spider-Man did it. He had a main role in the story. That's how they did it with Michael Keaton's Batman. Not like Doctor Strange, where they're there for 10 seconds and it's fan service. This is how you do, cameos. And it was so satisfying because I watched the first two films with my mum, kind of when it got announced that he was coming back. And I really like those Batman films since I've watched them. And so my mum was crying because she was like, it's my Batman, and you're watching him. And you're cheering when he says, you want to get nuts, let's get nuts. And it was really lovely. He was great, he was really quirky. The only thing I'm, iffy on was, why did they have to be at the start, oh, I'm retired and I'm brooding? That just seemed kind of pointless. It seemed like it was adding to the movie. Just adding minutes. I would have liked to just gone there and him be like, yeah, I'm Batman, I'll help you out, But, I can't complain because they tried to add some character stuff on. But I think what they added on, it wasn't, shocking. But I don't think it was as good as it could have been. He was like, yeah, Gotham's safe, so I'm retired. That makes sense. But then why are you fighting these dudes? I don't know. It was such a small thing that it doesn't even matter. And, Andy Muschietti, he's going to be directing Batman Brave and the Bold. I'm so excited, man. I'm unbelievably excited for him to direct that. I think it was really smart for them to give, young Barry the speed, because then he's not really a help to Batman, so you just kind of get Batman on his own. If normal Barry had the speed, he would have been trying to help Batman, and he would have overshadowed him. The suit is amazing as well. I liked that was practical. That was sick. Also, the Supergirl suit was sick. And the main Flash suit is my favourite Flash suit I've seen in any Flash adaptation for the big screen or for the TV screen. It's a material that a super speedy person would run in. The cowl looks shocking in promotional pictures, but they kind of fixed it and the cowl doesn't look whack in this film. I appreciated that they had the guts to kill off Michael Keaton and say, look, this is probably going to be a one appearance. They probably changed that after Batgirl rolled around. They probably, did something in post. But Michael Keaton dies. That's his universe. So, really, Michael Keaton's Batman was destined to die. And then Supergirl dies. Again, I wanted it to be sadder. But it wasn't. It was just a shock. I was very confused at that point in the film. And, people on the internet being young Barry gave in to Dark Flash. Did he though? Like, I don't know. Maybe he gave him some strength, but I don't think he gave into him. And then they did cameos, which, look, I know I just said like with Doctor Strange and stuff, it wasn't. It should just, you should have a cameo for story. The Nicolas Cage one, I didn't mind at all. Like, that was just fan service. That was fine. Christopher Reeve's one, I don't know about that one. And then every other one, I was like, this is just like cameos just for the sake. Like, they don't even have any lines. I was fine with the Nicolas Cage one because it was a thing that wasn't, it never saw the light of day. And then obviously Barry's like, I have to destroy what I've done. So young Barry dies. That universe dies. Michael Keaton's universe just goes away. So he goes back, he changes the soup. That was the most emotional scene I think has ever come out of the DCU. Maybe out of DC. It was just so emotional, man. And then he goes back to his normal universe. And it was really lovely because he finally gets something good happen in his life. And miraculously, the footage changes. And his dad looks up at the camera. And so he's proven innocent. That was like, so DC ripped my heart with that mum scene. And then they repaired it. And I felt lovely. I felt, wow, so if Ezra Miller doesn't come back, this Flash's arc throughout, Justice League and this film was wrapped up nicely. So I was very content. Bruce Wayne calls him, he's like, Bruce, thank you so much. He's like, I got a lot of things to tell you. And Bruce is like, I'm pulling up now. He gets out of the car, they don't show the face. And then Barry's like,
who the fuck is this?
And it's George Clooney. Of all the Batmen, it's bat nipples. And he was like,
You're not Batman.
And he's like, Barry. And then his tooth pops out, and that's how it ends. The tooth that you glued. And so, this movie, I'm very content with it. Probably my favourite DC film. Yeah, I'm going to say that. It's my favourite DC film. That doesn't mean I condone Ezra Miller or the CGI. Everyone was sidelined because Barry's the main character. It's definitely a Flash film. I'm going to give this 8 out of 10.